Hey guys, it's Baban and I'm doing another Danganronpa thing, and I just wanted to make some quick notes on like unified palettes and bringing colours together a little bit easier in like one set illustration. Now you can see the colours that I've already put down, they're ones that I've referenced from the little reference that I've got in the bottom corner, you can see there. So now I've got everything set out in blocks, so I can just go and use the fill tool wherever I want, but what I'm going to do is keep this layer so that you can see what I started with and what I ended up as, so I'll show you that at the end when I'm finished. Okay, so making a unified palette. What I usually do is, you can see the background, I've already made that pink because that's the atmosphere colour, and atmosphere colour is something I've referenced in my painting tutorial, how to start painting, so I'll link to that at the end so you can go and watch that as well, because that'll help you understand how to get the right colours as well. So I have the pink atmosphere colour, and what I'm going to do is make everything a bit more towards the atmosphere colour, so I want everything to be more pink, and normally I'd do this right from the start, but because I'm doing this for a tutorial, I've set out these colours that I picked from the reference so that you can see where I'm coming from. So I'm going to go and turn everything a bit more towards the atmosphere colour. And now that I've got that, what I'm going to do is set out a little box for me to pick some colours with. And the first colours I'm picking are the reds that are in this, because there's a few different places where there's a red colour used, and what I'm doing is making it into one red and maybe changing it a little bit so that it can go in all these places that have got the same kind of red. Because the red I've already got down is not that nice of a red, I changed it a little bit, and I'll go and fill all those in a minute. And now I'm going and picking all these different colours and noting them down and just seeing how few colours I can get away with, because the more colours you have, the more messy it's going to look. You want to try and keep it to as few as you can, and it is a bit difficult because there's so many characters here with so many different colours, but you can see like there's one sort of orange, there's one sort of white, there's one sort of blonde colour for the hair, and what the idea is you can see me dropping little bits of colour and testing them against each other. It's picking ones and combining them to reduce them into one colour that you can use in multiple places, because that'll bring everything together. Because if a colour's used in one place in a picture and in another place, especially when you've got a big clusterfuck like this, it'll bring everything together. And what I'm also going to do later is go and change the line art colour in certain places, and that's what I'm going to be using this little palette for, to pick from the colours that I've already got to use in the line art as well. Because I don't want to be going and picking too many like extra colours. Okay, so you can see here I've got two sort of blonde hair colours, and what I'm doing with these, because I've got two and they're really quite similar, I'm thinking they could be merged into one. They don't need to be two different colours. Oh no, it's this guy's shirt and Kyoko's tie. They're sort of a similar colour, so what I'm doing is merging them into one colour. And then what I'll go and do is fill those in, and you'll be able to see how it sort of links everything together. Go to that and fill it in. See, the combination of both of them is something that it's not too different from it doesn't matter if it differs too much from the colour it's supposed to be, because it makes up for it in bringing everything together. And add that in a few more places. And you can see how, like, immediately, instead of having more colours, it looks a lot better to use colours that are already used in something else in the picture. And I'm doing it with Celeste's hair. That's the same black that I've used on Monokuma and in anywhere else that's black. And I've got a few variations of the black. You can see I've got like the really darkish blue, because there were some characters that had like specifically quite bluish hair, and I didn't want to ruin that. You just need to figure out where you can compromise with the colour, where you can merge them into one to reduce the number of colours, because the fewer colours you've got, the more everything will link up together. Which is why simple colour palettes are usually quite effective, but This is for when you have a thing with a lot of stuff going on or a lot of different colours. And a lot of how I do this is just by going around colour picking, like looking at the picture and thinking those two certain colours that I'm using are similar, and then like colour picking them and seeing how different they are on the colour wheel. Give me a bit of an idea and thinking, can I use those somewhere else, or just like combine them into one so I can use them in both places. So you can see me just colour picking different things and checking them out, seeing if I can reduce them anymore. But I don't think at this point there was much more to reduce. I changed the colour of Byakuyu's hair because there was a different blonde, and I didn't need two different like colours for him, so he's got the same sort of colour hair as other people have over to the left. And then I went on to picking skin colours, and I think I tried using some of the hair colours for skin colours. I used the girl over far right, her hair colour. I used her hair colour as someone else's skin tone, but with the rest of the skin colours I tried to use the same one on different characters so that again it like pulls it all together. I didn't want to have too many different ones, which is quite lucky because most of the characters have pretty much like a similar skin colour, but I like to have a bit more variation in it. And what I end up doing later is picking some of the darker skin colours to use to fill in some of the details in the line art that I don't want to be as prominent. I end up filling, using those colours on the other skin tones. Like you can see me now, this is me changing the line art colour, and I go and do this like over all the little details on the face, just so they're not as strong, because I don't want everything to be in this really, really dark pink. Because it helps to soften it out a bit more. And again, I'm only using colours from this little palette that I've made of the colours that are already in the picture. Like I said on my painting tutorial, what you want to do once you've got the colours, any like rendering or anything, you just want to be using the painting as a palette and just using the dropper to pick from it. You don't really want to be going and picking straight from a colour wheel too much, because you want to keep the colours to the palette that you've got, because it brings it all together. Okay, and I just want to show you now, I'm working on the line art at the moment, and I've got the colours that I started off with that I referenced from looking at the reference pictures that I had, and the cleaned up version, and you can see it is a lot brighter, but you can also see that, hang on, let me get my little pointer and grabby hand. You can see that I've, instead of having like a different hair colour here and here, I've combined them so it's just one hair colour. And I've done the same, this guy's shirt and her tie. They're both the same colour now. And I think I'd already done it in this one, but these oranges are the same, these donuts and that strappy bit there is the same. All the reds are the same colour. All the reds are the same colour. I've made the reds brighter. I'm using the colours that I've already got for the line art that I'm cleaning up now. Like this hair colour is used in the line art here. So every colour's being used in multiple places, even if it is in the line art. And I'm going to go and finish this, and I'll show you it once it's finished. Hey, okay, here's the finished thing. And you can see I've added in loads more details, but what I've done here as well is still for the little shading bits, the little highlights that I've put in the hair, they're all other colours that are in the picture as well, near enough. There's only a few that I had to pick that were different because they didn't really fit very well. Like you can see this highlight in her hair is the same colour as her top, and this highlight in her hair is the same colour as this girl's hair. I think there was a few colours that I had to pick that were different, like the shadow in this guy's hair and the shadow in this girl's hair, but to make sure they still fit, I made them more towards this pink colour that is the atmosphere colour that I mentioned earlier. But yeah, you can see using this colour for here and using it again for here, using this guy's skin colour and the details over here. Yeah, it's just making sure you can pull everything together by using what colours you have. I do the same thing, I've already said this, but I do the same thing when I'm painting. Once I've put all the colours down in a bit of a mess, I'm just using the eyedropper to pick colours that are already down and then using them in the rest of the painting. What I'll do now is, I've got rid of the overlay off it, but there's a bit of an overlay off it to bring everything together as well. So yeah, that's the finished thing. And there's the comparison of colours. Like you can see, obviously the colours that I got from the reference, they're not... Oh. Okay, I'll get rid of those as well. They're obviously not fitting in with my illustration because it hasn't got the same sort of atmosphere or lighting. Well, I mean, it's got more lighting in the reference picture, but you can see the difference in how this is a bit of a mess of colours. Not all the colours are used in another place. There's usually just one colour for one thing. Everything's got its own separate colour. It's a bit of a mishmash. Completely disregard that it's not light enough and just focus on the colours. You can see how they all come together more in this one. Thanks for watching, I hope that helped. I'll put links to where I post stuff in the description, and I'll put a link up to that other video that I mentioned. Thanks for watching, give us a like if it helped. Bye bye!